Before I tell you what happened, I need to make something clear. This isn't a ghost story, at least I hope it isn't. It happened before I moved out, about 2 years before the night I met that man at 4 a.m. Back then, I was living with my parents in a quiet little town about 30 miles outside the city. It was peaceful, normal. Nothing ever really happened there. Until one summer night, when everything changed. I was driving home from work, same route, same road. It was late, probably around 10:40 p.m. I was exhausted. You know the kind of tired where your eyes start to sting and your head feels heavy? Yeah, that. To keep myself awake, I rolled down the driver's side window. Let the cool air slap me in the face. It helped. A little. That's when I noticed movement in my peripheral vision. Something or someone, just beyond the trees on the right side of the road. I eased off the gas. Maybe it was a deer. We had tons of those, but no. As I got closer, my heart started to thump harder. It wasn't a deer. It was a man. Just standing there. Not moving. Not waving. Not doing anything but watching. At first I thought maybe I was just tired, but the closer I got, the more wrong he looked. His body didn't sway in the wind. His features didn't exist. There was no skin, no eyes, no hands, just darkness. A man-shaped shadow, standing impossibly still. My pulse exploded. I floored it, hit 110 kilometers per hour, just under the speed limit. I couldn't help it. I looked back. Nothing. No shadow. No man. No sign that anything had ever been there at all. I laughed. Nervously. Told myself I was hallucinating. Sleep deprivation can do that to you, right? I was almost home, turned onto our street, just one more hill to climb. My headlights swept across the old tree in my neighbor's yard, the one I'd seen a million times. And there he was. Again. Same silhouette. But this time, he was crouching, peeking at me from behind the trunk. I saw them. Eyes. Bright. Hungry. Knowing. Locked onto me. I flinched, slammed the brakes, blinked. And just like that, he was gone. As if nothing had ever been there. Just the tree. Just the night. I pulled into the driveway and ran inside like a madman. My parents were in the living room. They yelled from the couch something like, "What do you think you're doing? You're supposed to be quiet when you get..." But then they saw me. Saw the look on my face. "What happened to you?" my mom asked. I told them everything. Every shadow, every glance, every second I doubted my sanity. To this day, I still don't know what I saw. Maybe it was a hallucination. Maybe my brain was short-circuiting from lack of sleep, or maybe it was something else. Something waiting in the woods, watching. And maybe, just maybe, it followed me home that night. I've since moved. Got a place closer to work. I sleep better now. But sometimes when I drive past rows of trees late at night, I swear I feel eyes, still watching. Not every ghost story is just a story. Some are memories burned into the soul. This one is mine. 4 or 5 years ago, my friends and I had this tradition, spooky photo shoots in old cemeteries. We were teens, curious, bold, foolish. Me? I was the goth kid with protective crystals and deep respect for the dead. We'd always ask permission before entering. One day my younger friend forgot her cross. I lent her my necklace instead. I thought nothing would happen. I didn't fully believe in ghosts then. As we wandered among 100-year-old gravestones, we saw him, a man, standing below, watching. The graveyard was built on a hill, with a winding forest path just beyond. We looked away for a second, and he was gone, vanished behind a tree that never let him pass through. We brushed it off, laughed it away. I laid down beside a grave for a picture. But as I lay there, something changed. I felt like the earth was pulling me in, cold fingers curling around my back. I jumped up. I knew it was time to go. We rushed back. My friend's mom sensed something. She handed me sage, told me to burn it in the car, play mantras. But still, I wasn't alone. Something sat behind me the entire 30-minute drive. That night, I dreamt of a face pushing through my bed sheets and into my body. I woke up gasping, as if something had dropped into my chest. My black cat, usually aloof, sat on my chest for 40 minutes, staring, blinking, purring. He knew. When he left, it happened. It was like a vacuum inside me, like something was being pulled from my head to my toes. The dread lifted. My room, empty again, and I never felt it again. I drew the face from my dream. When I showed it to my mom, she recoiled, told me to erase it. Some said it was a child, looking for a mother. Maybe it was drawn to my energy. Maybe I brought something home. I never take off my necklace now. I learned to listen to the energy, to always respect the dead, and to never lay down in a graveyard. It was the summer of 2010. I was about 15 or 16, the age when everything feels invincible until it doesn't. That night was just supposed to be another stupid teenage rebellion. Me and my neighbors snuck out, lit a couple joints, puffed some cheap cigarettes, and wandered through the dark streets of our quiet neighborhood. But the stories we told weren't about ghosts or monsters. They were worse. Rape, trafficking, kidnappings. Real stuff, the kind that sticks with you. It was around 1 a.m. We were making our way home, dragging our feet through puddles. The street was long, barely lit, the kind of place your imagination fills with shapes that aren't there. And then we saw it, a hooded figure stepping out of a house ahead of us on the opposite side of the road. She started walking in the same direction as us. Then, suddenly, she crossed the street. Right into our path. Something about it felt off. So we crossed to avoid her. And she crossed again, cutting us off under a dim, flickering streetlight. She stepped into the light and pulled back her hood. A woman. Red hair. Vibrant. Almost glowing against the dark. Maybe in her late 30s, early 40s. Beautiful, but wrong. Her eyes weren't drunk. They weren't wild. They were vacant, like she was watching us through a window from somewhere deep inside herself. She spoke slowly, softly. "Why are you out so late? Where do you live? Do your parents know where you are?" Then she reached for, grabbed my shirt, tried to pull me in close. Something primal kicked in. I shoved her off and yelled, "Don't touch me!" While all of this was happening, a man appeared. He walked directly down the center of the street, cigarette dangling from his lips. Late 20s, maybe. He wore a light blue Yankees cap and moved with purpose, like he didn't give a damn what the rain was doing. He walked right by us, shoulder brushed me. He heard what was going on, no way he didn't. We started to walk away fast. Told the woman to piss off. We'd barely taken 10 steps when he turned around, he called out, "What did that woman say to you? What did she tell you?" We explained what she asked, how she tried to grab me. Told him she was probably, I may be crazy. He didn't even blink. Just said thanks and took off after her. The woman was already walking back the way she came. He caught up, grabbed her, dragged her, fighting, back into the same house she came out of. That was the last time I ever saw either of them. I didn't sleep that night. None of us did. We kept asking why, who was she? What was she trying to do? And why did that guy care so much what she said to us? Part of me was sure she was a decoy, meant to distract us while the man did something worse. And then we noticed things were missing. Our weed, the pipe, some cigarettes. Had they taken them before we ever met her? Or had we met them earlier and not even realized? One friend said she could have been a witch. I don't know. Maybe she was. Or maybe she was just hollow. But I'll never forget those eyes. That feeling, like something not human was looking out from behind them. I still walk by that house sometimes. It's just another quiet place on another quiet street. But I'll never forget the night a beautiful stranger stepped out of it and tried to take me into something I still don't understand. I worked at the same store for almost 8 years, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened during the last year. A place I thought I knew changed forever. It started in early 2020. An old man collapsed right there, aisle number 2. Josh, our deputy manager, gave him mouth to mouth, but the paramedics said he was already gone. They said he likely died instantly. The next morning, the manager came in alone to clean up. When we all returned, the aisle was flooded. Every bottle, alcohol, soda, burst on its own. All at tier. Once. And right where he died. Josh never came back, said he couldn't sleep. Quit that same morning, but we stayed. We carried on. In 2021, store expansion, new layout. The aisle where the man died. Now, the toy aisle, great, right? But then it began. Toys speaking with no batteries, jumping off shelves. Sharon swore something grabbed her, said she felt a breath on her neck. Found a handprint on her skin. Late one night, I stayed, after closing, just me. Alone in the warehouse, I had my headphones in, but I could still feel it. Cold breath on my neck. Then, tapping on the shutter. I checked the cameras, nothing outside. Then the shutter opened, on its own. When I checked the feed again, I saw it, me, under the light outside, and something in front of me. A black figure, watching. I didn't see it in real life, but the camera did. I quit locking up, alone after that. Some people say it's grief trapped in walls. Some say it's something darker. All I know is, aisle 27 was never just a toy aisle. If you ever walk into a store and something feels off, don't ignore it. You're watching Night Whispers. Subscribe and turn on the bell button if you're not afraid of what whispers back. If you also want me to read a spiritual incident that happened to you or someone you know, you can share it by email. The email link will be given in the description box. And be sure to share your feelings about hearing the incident in the comments.